Okay, this last bit can be a little tricky. We're going to hook the debugger in PHP, XDebug, up to PHP Storm so that we can interactively debug our programs. And that's going to require some settings changes to PHP. So let's go ahead and start up XAMPP control. So C XAMPP. And then here's XAMPP control up at the top this time. And this time I'm going to run it as administrator. So right click, run as administrator. So I already have Apache running. The first thing I want to do is stop it because I'm going to change the configuration. And then I'm going to go to config and open php.ini. And if you're not on Windows and you want to find where this file is so you can edit it some other way, it actually lives in, under your XAMPP folder, you'll see a PHP folder. And here's php.ini right here. So you can edit that in the text editor. And then go all the way to the bottom here. You're looking for a section called XDebug. And this controls the debugger that is integrated with PHP. And all of these lines are commented out. And what I've done is on the Lab 1 assignment page, you'll see that I've copied these settings. So just go ahead and copy those settings and paste them in here to your php.ini. Now, if you're on the Mac or on Linux, you're going to need to change this path to where your extensions are. So under XAMPP PHP, you should see a folder called Ext. And under there, you should see something that looks like PHP under XDebug, maybe .so or some other extension. But this is the directory where your XDebug lives, and that's what you're going to want to fill in here. And for trace output dir, just include the path to your XAMPP folder, and then TMP under that. The rest of these settings should all be the same. So I'm going to go ahead and save the file now. And back to XAMPP control, and I'm going to start Apache. So it started up. So now PHP should be doing the right thing. Now we need to configure PHP Storm to talk to it. So let me go ahead and quit that for now. So there's a couple of settings here. We're going to go to File and then Settings. And the first thing we're going to look at is under Languages and Frameworks, go to PHP, and we need to set this interpreter. So I'm going to go ahead and click the ... and we want to add an interpreter, which is going to be other local. And then we want to locate, click that ... Then find your XAMPP folder. Under there, you're going to find PHP. Just select that folder and say OK. And if everything has worked correctly, it should show debugger, XDebug, and some version. Should have the correct PHP version and the configuration file. If you see that, you're in good shape. So we'll say OK. Now I have my interpreter set. The other thing I want to set is under Build Execution Deployment. Click on this deployment tag here and hit plus. And I'm going to give this just any old name, but I'm going to call it XAMPP Apache. And then in this drop down here, local or mounted folder, because it's a local installation of the Apache web server. So I have to locate the folder, which is going to be C XAMPP. Right, so this is the root of my documentary, my web documentary, and then here's the URL for that root as well. So I'm going to say OK for now. Get rid of that. Now, the other thing we need to do is install the Chrome extension. So I'm going to go ahead and go to Settings in Chrome, Extensions, and then at the bottom you'll see a link for Get More Extensions. Search for JetBrains IDE, and you should see this one right here. So this is the extension that lets Chrome accept connections from PHP Storm. So add that to Chrome, add extension. So it's been added to Chrome. We should be able to see it. If we look at the bottom here, it's enabled, so we should be okay. Okay, so now let's go ahead and try it. So I'm in main.php, and I'm going to hit the run button next to main.php. Great, so that worked. And then let's go ahead and put a breakpoint on here. So I'm going to stop execution of the program when I hit this line. And oh, this is important. So notice this little thing. If it looks like that, you need to enable connections and then hit the little debug button. Great, so it's paused execution on this line. The browser is just sitting here waiting. And then if I step over that line, you'll see that name is Mark Idman. So I can actually see the variables as they change. I can see all the weird stuff that I'm getting. And I can continue execution. And then it will try to reload the page one more time. So run it again. Great. So the page is running. It's in the debugger. When I want to stop debugging, I can just hit cancel here. And then it's just like a normal page.